Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today we are going to be talking about a digital asset stock that is focusing on compliance and regulatory approval for cryptocurrency. And so today they have leaked some very exciting news that is important going forward. I think this will definitely impact the stock in a very positive way. And while we are looking at that, we're also going to take a quick look at Bitcoin and where I think it is heading. Also, if you do not mind hitting the like button, I'd really appreciate it. It lets me know that you enjoy the content. And as always, I am not a financial advisor, so please do your own research. And so let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart here. And so as we can see, this is currently trading at about $40,000. And so since the beginning of May, this was trading between a channel of $30,000 and $40,000. And so since then, we have seen a substantial run here over the last 9 days. And so we have had 9 days in a row. And so as we can see here, we did bounce off $30,000 3 times. And I believe that we formed a triple bottom there. And so I did mention that right at the bottom here, that we were forming a triple bottom. And since then, we have went up substantially. And so as we can see here, after we have closed on that 9th green day here, I would not be surprised to have us pull back a little bit. And then we may continue through that $40,000 support. And so once we do break through that here, I would like to see confirmation at that $40,000, and then I will be looking for continuation going forward. And so I would like to take a look at this article here. And so this is stating that the Canadian crypto landscape is about to change. And so I do not think this is just for Canada. I think this applies to many other countries, including the US. And so we can see here they are talking about regulation, security, standardization, and investor protection. And so I did mention this in a past video. I definitely think this is something we're going to see in the cryptocurrency space going forward. And so as adoption of cryptocurrency continues to increase, both new and existing investors want to ensure they're protected. And so unlike the numerous exit scams with the industry has seen over the years, regulation pushes to bring protection and standardization with security. And this will reduce the likelihood of the trading platform closing with investor funds. And so exchanges that do not follow the regulatory framework will need to cease providing services to Canadian investors, or they will need to exit the country altogether. And so a failure to do this will result in extremely heavy fines imposed by the Canadian government. And so investors need to prepare for the short notice and quick turnaround time that a trading platform may be required to take to reduce or restrict services. And so the reason I'm talking about compliance and regulation is because the stock I'm talking about is focusing on that for cryptocurrencies. And so the company is BIGG Digital Assets, and the ticker symbol on that for the Canadian Stock Exchange is BIGG, and over the counter is BBKCF. And so BIGG Digital Assets owns, operates, and invests in crypto businesses that support and enhance a compliant and regulated ecosystem. And so they have two different parts of their business. They have Netcoins, which is their cryptocurrency exchange. And so we can see that they currently have 7 coins listed, and I will go more in depth why I believe this further in the video. And then they also have Blockchain Intelligence Group, which brings security and accountability to the new era of cryptocurrency with big data, AML, compliance, search, forensics, and training. So we can see they have very large customers here as well. They have the Canada Revenue Agency, they have the SEC, and then some very large banks. And then they also have a couple US federal government agency contracts as well. And so I'd also like to take a look at the chart here for BBKCF. And so this is currently trading at $1.30 USD, and it was up 15% today. And so I believe the reason for this is because of the leaked information. And so this has been trading very well over the last 6 months. And so when Bitcoin was going up here, we saw this go up to almost $4. And so since then, since Bitcoin has been dropping or being stabilizing between $30,000 and $40,000, this has dropped back off. And so it did hit a low of about 70 cents last week, and then they released information on their revenue. And so they did very well in their revenue. We're going to take a look at that here shortly. However, if you would like to join a Patreon group that provides access to a Discord chat, there is a link below. I did provide the group with this trade at 70 cents last week. And so since then, they are up about 80% if they ended up taking a position. And so I'd like to take a look at this here as well. This does explain their revenue over Q2. And so they had a revenue of about 4.6 million, and the majority of that growth was from Netcoins. And so Netcoins, the cryptocurrency exchange, provided about $4.2 million for Q2 with a 26% quarter over quarter growth and a year growth over 1900%. And so they do have active users reached here of 19,000 during Q2, and then they have registered users now exceeding 80,000. So I think as they start to implement their app, this will continue to grow. They will have many more users, and they will be having much more revenue going forward. And so this does state that down here, Netcoins is working to release their mobile app shortly, once beta testing is completed, and continues to work with CSA on their restricted dealer license. Netcoins is also planning to launch in the US second half 2021 and is working on a number of new products, and so they will be providing further details on these initiatives soon. And so they have their mobile app that they are working on with beta testing, and then they're going to continue to work with the CSA on their dealer license, and so they can be compliant and meet regulatory restrictions. And then they also are planning on launching in the US in the second half of 2021. And so they have a lot of catalysts here that could definitely affect the stock price going forward. And so I would like to dig a little bit deeper into that here. And so mentioning the Netcoins app, this was the information that was leaked today. This was added to the Google Play Store, and so it has not launched on iOS yet, and they have not made a public announcement for this app being released. And so they are still in the beta testing phase. However, it did show up on the Google Play Store. And so once they are done with beta testing, I did reach out to them. They are going to be listing this on iOS as well. And so this is definitely something to be looking forward to in the next week or so as they make a public service announcement as well. And so I think this is definitely something that will affect the price of BBKCF going forward. And so I'd also like to take a look at some of this information down here as well that is underneath the app. And so as we can see, they are working on being compliant, safe, and secure. And so Netcoins is a registered MSB by FinTrack, and so that is a money services business. And so all customer funds are held in cold storage offline and are insured with BitGo. And so this is definitely something very positive to see. The majority of the cryptocurrency exchanges right now hold your cryptocurrencies on the exchange. And so by holding the cryptocurrencies in cold storage, if they were to get hacked, then your money cannot be stolen with that as well. And so that's something very positive. I like to see that. That would not surprise me if they have their license for cryptocurrencies, since they are approaching it this way. And so they also have stated here that the team uses Clue, a blockchain forensics and investigative tool, and Netcoin's sister company to identify and prevent illicit crypto activities. And so they're definitely looking out for people with cryptocurrencies and making it a safe place for investments. And so I'd also like to go back to this article here as well. And so we can see here, while it is uncertain that many trading platforms will temporarily or permanently close their doors to Canadians, these reductions could result in blocked accounts, crypto seizure, or an inability to access any investment. So this has already happened with Binance ceasing operations in the United States, and this has happened with Binance announcing its ceasing of operations in the province of Ontario. And so investors should expect to see an increase in trading platform closures across the country, leaving only those that are regulatory compliant in operation. And so this is where, if a lot of cryptocurrency platforms are kicked out, say, of Canada, and then they have to move to compliant exchanges, say for example Netcoins is compliant, they have their license, I think a lot of people would be moving to these exchanges to continue to trade cryptocurrencies. And so this would draw a lot of attention to this and draw a lot of volume to this exchange, therefore generating more revenue and increasing the stock price. And so as we can see here, investors should also expect to see a temporary reduction in crypto offerings while the Canadian regulatory environment makes a transition. And so more specifically, we will see a reduction in the amount of coins that are available, as regulatory compliance will mean trading platforms will have to undertake extra scrutiny in terms of coin offerings. And so this is why I believe they only have 7 coins right now. They do not want to have a ton of cryptocurrencies listed, as that will not help them with their license. And so once they are approved and have their license, then they can start to list more cryptocurrencies going forward. And so I definitely think that there's a lot of potential for this stock. And so I would like to take a look at one last article here. And so Binance pulls out of Ontario following actions against other crypto exchanges. And so as we can see here, Binance is no longer open for business in Canada's most populous province, apparently choosing to close shop rather than meet the fate of other cryptocurrency exchanges that have had actions filed against them for allegedly failing to comply with Ontario security laws. And so we can see here they are allowing them to close out all active positions by December 31st of 2021. And so if they're going to move their positions, they have to move it to a compliant exchange, and so that may be Netcoins here in the future. And so we can also see that, and so in the preceding 30 days, OSC has issued statements of allegations against 2 other cryptocurrency exchanges, Poloniex and KuCoin, claiming they too failed to comply with Ontario's regulations. And so this is only going to get more strict, and so we're going to have to find cryptocurrency exchanges that have a license and are compliant. And so This is where Netcoins comes in BIGG Digital, and so I like how they have been focusing on that from the get-go. It is going to take a lot longer for these cryptocurrency exchanges that have not been focusing on that to get up to speed. And so I think a lot of these people are going to be moving to these compliant exchanges going forward. And so if you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.